What's happening, people? We're back here once again on CubCamTV for another edition of CubReacts, and I tell you what, I could not be more excited to be getting into today's video because it's landed, it's finally here. I am over the moon to see that WizKid has finally dropped Made in Lagos. It literally dropped about 4 minutes ago on different streaming platforms, and I've literally just found the YouTube uploads from the official album. So it is an official one, don't worry, this is the one on WizKid's page. We're going to jump into this track, Ginger featuring Burna Boy. Now, the reason I've chosen this track is because I know for a fact that the vast majority of the subscribers on this channel found the page through either a WizKid tune or a Burna Boy. So I thought, what better way to celebrate this album than to combine those two together and get into this conversation. Obviously, with everything that's been going on in Nigeria recently, it's very obviously it's hashtag EndSARS the entire way, and obviously sending as many good wishes as we possibly can here on this channel. There's so much Nigerian music that we do actually review on this channel. It's deeply saddening to see everything that's going on, and it's completely understandable why this album has been pushed back. But we are going to be getting into this right about now. I am super excited, but there's a couple of things I do need to mention before we do get into it, just to make sure everyone is aware of what's going to happen. This is a reaction and analysis video, so that means there are going to be a lot of pauses in this video. We are going to be breaking down this track in its entirety. We're going to be breaking down the production, the vocal performance, we're going to break down the lyricism if we need to, and of course we're going to break down the well, we can't exactly break down the music video because it's just a visualizer, but there we go. I'm buzzing for it. Hopefully you guys are really going to enjoy this one as well. Hopefully we don't get copyrighted on its upload, because I've been sat here waiting to do this for a couple of weeks now. You know, I'm so excited to get into this. If you aren't already subscribed, please do make sure you are hitting that subscribe button, and of course turning notifications on. There's going to be loads more music on the way on this channel, and yeah, I'm just very excited. Let's go.
If you want make a ginger, give me tea, kokoro. My culture be your love. Anywhere I go, just come up with my love.
I mean, right from the off. Literally right from the off. You can see the smile on my face. Can you see how big the smile on my face is? I am so excited. This is exactly the vibe I wanted to hear on this. We hear Burna Boy start off the tune very quickly. Not much introduction, literally just straight into some very smooth Afrobeat rhythms. Obviously with a lot of shakers going on, a lot of percussive energy going on, quite simple melodic structure so far. Burna Boy just kind of riffing over the intro. Let's see where it goes. Come on! WizKid. If this is going to be as I think it's going to be, this is one of the collaborations that is going to go down in history. We look at two of the biggest artists to come out of Nigeria ever, and the back and forth is already sounding super sweet. Their vocal structure, the use of that call and respond very early on, just saying, it almost gives off that message like, look, we're in this together. We're both part of the same project here. Let's make it work. Sick to see. Woo! Oh my word. Instrumentation is on point. This is incredible sounding. That sort of sweeping vocal texture going on there. Awesome sounding stuff. Very creative use of vocal textures and obviously vocal sweeps as well. The percussive layers below the instrumental are really allowing that natural kind of rhythm and flair that we hear within Afrobeat come through. And then obviously you add those sort of more up-to-date, shall we say, more modernized production techniques on top. You're onto a winner. Stunning. It's stunning. Like, you hear that just before we get into WizKid's verse. I did say there'd be a lot of pauses, people. We're breaking this down in its entirety, and I'm really excited to do so. But you can hear straight from the off with this, just the general layout. The guitar lines are so clean. The percussive layers are they're punchy, but they're not overbearing. The general breakdown and structure on the production behind this one is amazing. So far, I think we're about 16 bars into the tune. We've heard two kind of bridge sections. We've heard Burna Boy's intro, and we've heard WizKid's first like smaller intro verse. So much has happened already. I feel this says a lot about where the album's going to be. I feel anyway. Make a touch of money. Make a rub, make a love, make a rub, make a touch of money. Make a rub of money. WizKid doing what WizKid does, just bringing different flow patterns to the table. This one quite a monotone flow. I'm assuming throughout the track we're going to hear him grow and expand into it. Just beautiful layout. Again, not being overbearing with his vocal as just a general piece of composition so far. This is sounding incredible. You already know I'm going to be running this album all week on Trickstar, and probably for the rest of the year on Trickstar, pretty much day in, day out on the radio show I run. I'm so excited. I don't know why this has been doing this either. For some reason, my space bar stopped working. How can you... I've said this about tunes before, but I don't understand how you can hear this and a smile not light up your face. This is stunning. Everything about this is phenomenal. Just do you know what it is more than anything else? The energy I'm getting from the percussion on this tune is blowing my mind. It genuinely is. And it may not sound too different, but it's just the layering of it. It's the layering of it and still leaving enough space for both vocalists to have that room, you know? Percussion tends to dominate it tends to dominate pretty much the entire spectrum of a mix down. You've got the sort of lower sort of end with the toms and more sort of kick drum sort of sounds. You've got the higher end with the clavs and the sort of mid-range with sort of bongos and congas and things like that. So when you actually find there's still enough space for a vocalist to sound potent in between with this much going on, it's incredible production. We go day nice. If we enter the place, I go day nice. I go fiki, I go rewind. Say now me go be the DJ. As I said before, just constantly switching up the flows. I think that's something that WizKid does not get enough credit for, the ability to switch around. We heard it on No Stress, which was obviously the big single for this album. Obviously the tune with her as well, but I feel that No Stress was the big single. And with that, we heard him constantly switching up his flow patterns every sort of 4 to 8 bars. We're already hearing it on this one. Say my party know they stop to the daylight. Before you run go they shot you make you think twice. If not smoke you want smoke say we day tight. Something I'm noticing in the background as well on the I think it's bar on the 4th bar of every not the 4th but the 4th beat of every bar we're getting this chord land, this sort of dun 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 dun, and it's just adding. There's a journey going on within each bar. Like there's so much going on musically here. It's a lot to take in, and it's going to take me a long time to literally sit down and break down this tune in its entirety. But I'm loving it. Leave nice. Yeah. If you want make a ginger, give me tea, kokoro. The back and forth is amazing, man. The synergy between them, it clearly works. You know, they clearly have vocal lines that complement each other, and it's incredible to hear. It's obviously you see online there's a big bit of competition. There at least seems to be a big bit of competition between the fans of both sides. But I mean, hearing them on the same tune together for me, it's blissful. As from a fan's perspective of both, it's absolutely blissful. You see those vocal lines slowly but surely starting to expand and grow. We're hearing WizKid grow into the tune more and more as he moves forward, expanding the vocal ranges he's uses, going from that single monotone, as I said before, we heard it right at the beginning, that quite monotone flow. We then heard him expand sort of 4 or 5 notes either side. We're now hearing him go almost 2 octaves up in the vocal lines he's using. So again, it's the expansion of what WizKid does. I've been making money, living reckless. The bass line on this is something I haven't mentioned either. Very subtle, but very, very strong, and it's doing its job. When you've got so much percussion going on in the middle, you need to make sure that your bass line isn't constantly there, you know, and we're getting a little bit technical with the production side of things, but you need to make sure the percussion has room to impact, especially the lower end percussion. If you've got a bass line running, like a bass note going the entire time, your percussion is going to sound a bit soft. The reason the percussion sounds so potent and rhythmic on this is because the bass line is almost finding those pockets in between and kind of going quite almost quite dubwise in the way it's finding those little shorter notes, staccato notes I believe they're called. Brilliant. If them try, talk, then go son. They go down. I can just get lost in it, you know. I genuinely am getting quite lost in it, almost like the soundscape that this tune presents. And I feel this is like the perfect place to start if you want to introduce people to what WizKid and Burna Boy are all about. Burna Boy, not even if before we even get into his own like solo stuff, he's one of the best hook writers in the land. You know, he's one of the best people to have on your hook that you could possibly hope to have. So to hear him come this strong on this as well, with WizKid's constant expansion, that's the thing I want people to take away from this video more than anything else. When you listen to WizKid, it's the expansion of what he does. It's the fact that you take that little seed there and it grows and it grows and it grows. By the end of the tune, you're like, wow, so much is going on vocally, and he eases you into it. It's brilliant. Why does he keep doing that?
We go day nice. If we enter the place, I go day nice. I go fiki, I go rewind. Say now me go be the DJ, I'ma feel nice.
And now sort of dipping back into a bit more monotone. Obviously, in the middle of the tune, we heard him get very expansive. We're now back into quite a singular type of flow, focusing more here on the rhythms, again, riding those percussive lines, doing a bit more sort of party style, more sort of toasting in the way his flows are working. That sort of there's a bit more, it's a bit more rhythmic than the stuff he was doing before. Again, it's just showing how good he is vocal-wise. There's so many elements about what he does.
Say my party know they stop to the daylight. Before you run, go they shot you, make you think twice. If not smoke, say we day tight.
Those little vocal lines from Burna Boy in the background as well are really adding something to this. They're giving it that extra little bit of sauce, those little harmonic breaks that really, I would say, push a tune like this further and further up, like in its quality, because as I said before, it hasn't stopped growing. WizKid's vocal has now started to not necessarily stop growing, but we're not hearing like brand new things happening every time. He's almost returning to older themes and it's changing. It's not necessarily growing. At this point, we hear Burna Boy's vocals line the bottom layer underneath, and that's what brings a new life to everything. So again, expansion constantly musically.
Nice, yeah.
This hook's one of my favorite Burna Boy hooks, man. I mean, the guy is so good at writing hooks and so good at getting the hooks across. I think he's... you know what it is? I'm just happy the link up has happened. More than anything else, I'm just genuinely very happy the two have come together on this album. To be honest, if you were looking around Twitter today, it was insane the amount of response this album's had. There we go. The call and respond on the chorus works really nicely, I feel, because it gives them that chance to basically intertwine what they're doing. They're sharing the same lyricism, for the most part anyway, and then obviously doing their own versions of that hook, which again, it just makes it so much more, you can hear the synergy, it makes it so much more cohesive as like a compositional piece. It's brilliant. What a tune to have on the album, man. I mean, I'm going to be listening through the full album tomorrow on the show. I'm going to tell you about that once this is finished. Oh, Burna, bro. Burna, you caught me. I was not expecting it. I was kind of getting to the end of this thinking maybe Burna's just going to be on the chorus, and he's caught me fully. Burna takes the bridge on the final outro and literally just switches the tune entirely on its head. It felt like the tune was kind of coming to an end. It felt like it was starting to slow down. And then we get this bridge, the drums minimize, and Burna just launches himself forward with this more expansive vocal. Almost kind of continuing that back and forth between both the vocalists. Did not expect that at all. See how happy I am listening to this. I'm very happy Burna got a full verse as well. I feel like I was hoping he would. I would have been a little bit like, I wish he had have had that full verse if I'd have heard the full tune and he hadn't have been there. The fact he's got the verse on the bridge for me completes this. It's the only thing that I would have said needed to happen to the tune for it to become a special WizKid tune. It's now a special WizKid tune for me. Don't know why it does that. There we go. It does sound like it's slowly starting to fade out now. There's only about 8 seconds left of the tune, so I'm assuming this is when it will begin to pan down. So yeah, we're going to finish the tune off, and then we'll give our full analysis of the tune overall. Those little strings we heard on the outro as well, really nice way to kind of tie things off. You're hearing it a lot more in UK production, especially these sort of like big cinematic strings kind of drawing a close to things like something out of an official soundtrack. I'm blown away by this tune. I'm genuinely blown away, and I'm hoping that you guys are as well, because this, for me, when I looked through the track listing, this is the one I went, okay, bam, I'm checking that one out. What a tune. I think Burna Boy does everything you want Burna Boy to do. Amazing hook feature, and then that little verse at the end, fabulous. I think WizKid does what WizKid does best. I think a lot of credit has to go to the production team behind this one, because those percussive layers are incredible. Wow, I'm genuinely quite blown away by this tune. So what I was saying earlier in regards to doing a live listen, UK people in general, or just anyone around the world, tomorrow from 8 till 9 p.m. GMT, I'm going to be on The Breakfast Show, of course, which you can see down here. There you go. I'm live on Breakfast with Kovu over on Trickstar Radio from 7 till 10 in the AM. You can lock in via trickstarradio.com or by downloading the Trickstar Radio app, which is on the App Store and Google Play. I'm going to be live from 7 till 10 doing Fresh Fridays, our Friday show, but you can lock in from 8 till 9 to hear a full live album review. I'm going to be listening through the entire thing live on air, giving my comments on each tune and breaking each track down. It's going to be amazing. So please do, not because of me, because I'm going to get to listen to the entire way through, as will you guys, and it'd be brilliant to have you there. So make sure you do lock in. This has been Kovu. This is the last review of the day. Thank you for listening, guys. Please do make sure you are hitting that subscribe button. Of course, turning notifications on as well. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy listening through the album. I hope I get to do it, and I hope you all enjoy it as much as I will enjoy it tomorrow. That's what I've been trying to say. I'm stuttering here because I'm so excited. But anyway, guys, have a good night, and we'll see you later.